If there's one thing I've learned over the years, it's that the most powerful plant medicines in the garden aren't sold in stores. They're not bottled, branded, or marketed as miracle cures. They're old herbs, sometimes overlooked, sometimes growing wild on the edges of beds. De bisomsunder ben steenbeddam. Stadanamoran. Gardeners used for centuries before pesticides and fertilizers existed. These herbs didn't just flavor meals, they protected crops, revived weak plants, strengthened the soil, and kept entire gardens healthy through seasons of stress. Today, these forgotten herbs are making a quiet comeback because gardeners are finally realizing that nature already gave us everything we need. Once I started using them, the difference was night and day. My plants responded faster, pests dropped dramatically, and soil bounced back from stress far quicker than anything store-bought ever gave me. These aren't theories, they work. Let's dig into the herbs that still deserve a place in every serious garden. Yarrow is the herb that strengthens weak plants before disease takes hold. If you've never used yarrow in your garden, you're missing out on one of the strongest natural tonics. Yarrow builds plant resilience from the inside out. It's loaded with micronutrients and bioactive compounds that trigger a plant's natural defense systems. When plants are stressed from heat, drought, or transplanting, a simple yarrow soak makes them spring back faster than anything I've tried. The method is simple. Chop the leaves and flowers, soak them in water for a day or two, then use the strained liquid as a foliar spray or root drench. The smell tells you it's working. Earthy, herbal, alive. Yarrow also attracts beneficial insects and strengthens the soil microbiome. Ancient growers used it everywhere and for good reason. It rescues tired plants before pests and disease ever gain a foothold. Comfrey feeds hungry crops better than most commercial fertilizers. Comfrey has become popular again, but it's still not used nearly as much as it should be. This herb pulls minerals from deep in the soil, concentrates them in its leaves, and gives you a natural fertilizer that's almost unmatched. When your tomatoes, peppers, squash, or greens start looking tired, comfrey tea wakes them back up. The trick is harvesting comfrey at the right time, just before flowering when nutrient levels peak. Tear the leaves, soak them in a bucket of water, and wait until the liquid turns dark and strong. That fermented comfrey tea becomes a powerhouse feed for fruiting crops. Too many gardeners overlook how reliable and fast-acting this herb can be. Hyssop is the forgotten herb that stops pest outbreaks naturally. Hyssop used to be a standard garden herb. Now it's almost forgotten, especially outside medicinal gardens. But this plant is one of the best natural pest balancers you can grow. It attracts pollinators, beneficial wasps, hoverflies, and predatory insects, the exact helpers you need to keep pests in check. I first noticed hyssop's power during a season when aphids were everywhere. Every plant suffered except the ones edging the hyssop patch. The predators clustered there and the balance in that area held strong. Hyssop also strengthens nearby plants through subtle volatile compounds, something ancient growers understood intuitively. Chamomile restores sickly seedlings and roots faster than anything else. Chamomile is gentle, but don't underestimate it. When seedlings turn pale or start damping off, chamomile is one of the best natural treatments. Its antifungal properties keep soil-borne diseases away, and its nutrients revive young plants without burning them. A cup of strong chamomile tea poured around the roots or misted over seedlings keeps them healthy, upright, and resistant to stress. This herb has been used for generations to keep young crops alive in the most delicate phase of growth, long before synthetic fungicides existed. Stinging nettle is the energy booster that resets soil health. Nettle isn't just a wild weed, it's actually one of the richest natural fertilizers on Earth. When soil is tired, low in nitrogen, or just lacking biological life, nettle tea resets the system quickly. I've used nettle on struggling leafy greens and honestly, the turnaround is almost immediate. Nettle also improves chlorophyll production, strengthens roots, and boosts plant immunity. Gardeners long ago understood its power. They didn't fear its sting because they knew what it offered. Dark green leaves, strong stems, and soil that stays alive and active. Sage keeps fungal diseases under control when humidity rises. Powdery mildew, leaf spot, and mold outbreaks are nothing new. Ancient gardeners dealt with them constantly, especially before modern fungicides. Sage was their go-to herb because of its strong antifungal oils. A simple sage-infused water spray keeps mildew from spreading. It also strengthens plant tissues so infections can't take over as easily. Sage grows well almost everywhere, and once you start using it in the garden, you'll understand why it was never considered optional in older gardening traditions. Final thoughts. The more time I spend gardening, the more I appreciate these old herbs. They don't just solve problems, they prevent them. They restore balance instead of forcing it. They strengthen plants instead of pushing them. And they keep the garden functioning as a living system, rather than a place that constantly needs inputs. If you want your garden to be truly resilient, these herbs deserve a permanent place in your beds. Start small, experiment, and watch how your plants respond. You'll understand quickly why gardeners relied on them for centuries, and if you want more deep, practical, time-tested gardening wisdom, make sure you subscribe and share. The more we bring these old methods back, the better our gardens become.